enjoying my reactions, but you don't feel like waiting a week for the next upload? That's cool, because I got you covered. Chances are, by the time you watch this show on YouTube, I'll already have the full seasons available over on Patreon in their complete unedited glory. All you gotta do is become a tier 2 patron. And if you just so happen to be a viewer who wants to request things from me, such as movies and shows, then you can take your loyalty even further by becoming a tier 3 patron. The ball is in your court, and I'm completely at your service, so take advantage of these opportunities now. Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, here with me, myself, and I on the ones and twos, and this is We Ain't Seen the Reactions, the place where I react to everything I've never seen. And today, if you read by the title, you know what time it is. It's time to go and put those X's up in the air for another epic reaction to X-Men 97. Last time we left off, we saw a hellacious episode revolving around a very cool character in the form of Madeline Pryor, who was going through somewhat of an identity crisis after coming to the revelation that she was not the real Jean like she thought she was. She was actually a clone created by Mr. Sinister in order to extract the DNA of Jean and get it to be in holy matrimony and consummate to conceive baby Nathan, who we all know will go on to be Cable in the future. Yes, that episode was very epic, even though it had a few issues. I know a lot of people are mixed on this one. I'm not to that magnitude as others, but I do see that it does have a few issues. We've already addressed that this thing is moving at a very breakneck pace, so there was always going to be something that was going to be kind of rushed and a little bit distorted and not make a lot of sense. One thing in particular that I feel like did not make a lot of sense was Madeline calling herself the Goblin Queen, because there was no pre-established element for her to name herself that. I would have easily just go ahead and just make this like a two-parter thing. For the episode prior, or no pun intended, for the episode that we just watched, I would have made that Madeline kind of like coming to grips with the fact that she is a clone and slowly descending into madness. And I would have had her studying books. She would have kind of been like Sephiroth, just go somewhere, lock herself off, read a lot of Dante's Infernal books, and then she's inspired to come up with something like the Goblin Queen, where she manifests these goblins, because as we know in the comics, she does that by way of making a deal with this demon, and he allows her to lead his goblin army. But it's not the same in this one, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It also doesn't make sense that she calls herself Madeline Pryor, So yeah, that's just something where the execution was a little bit sloppy, but overall, I loved it. It kind of makes Scott less of a jerk compared to how he was in the original story, and it does things right. I like how the animation it was up in this. It was very fluid. It almost put me in the mind of what we see in the Netflix Castlevania series, where everything is very fluid and Sakuga, almost anime-like. Later on in the episode, after that issue is revolved, we see Cable go back into the future with Bishop, which I find a bit ironic and prolific, because the last time we saw Cable and Bishop in the same scene together, Cable was trying to come at this man's head because he was in fear that Bishop would ruin his reality, essentially erase it after he got rid of the techno-organic virus. So it's a bit ironic that Cable and the techno-organic virus, which is going to kill Cable, we're going to have to see Bishop fix that by way of taking Cable back in time. And I'm guessing that he's going to get Forge to do the fixing of this whole ordeal. I think Forge is the main one that helps him fix it in the comics. I could be wrong. He learns how to, control it, which, the techno-organic virus, it does this thing to where it can't allow Cable to fully manifest his abilities. He's a very powerful mutant that can do a lot of things that Apocalypse can. Like, he can enlarge his body and everything. But since we're on the topic of Forge, we know that Forge is going to be in this next episode, or at least I feel like he's going to be, because we saw him at the end in that stinger where he meets up with Storm in Dallas, Texas. And this is going to be this is obviously going to be an adaptation of one of the comic stories titled LIFEDEATH, where we deal with the aftermath of Storm losing her abilities. The one thing I will say about this one is it's going to be different in a way, I feel, because as you know, Forge was the guy responsible for creating the blaster that essentially nullifies the mutant's abilities. But in this one, the blaster was reverse engineered from one of the inhibitor collars by the Executioner. And the last time I checked, the inhibitor collar was made by this guy named Gottfried Adler. In episode, I forgot what the episode number was, but I think it was Slave Island, where the mutants are tricked to go into Genosha and they're held captive and their powers are nullified by these collars. So I have no idea what they're going to do. Maybe Gottfried Adler got the schematics or blueprints or something like that from Forge after his time in the government, but hey, we'll see. But anyways, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to go ahead and jump into this thing, man. This is going to be episode 4 titled Motendo / Life Death Part 1. Okay, so this is at least going to be a 2-parter. But without further ado, man, here we go. Meow. I love how they swapped them. Oh wow, Mojo. All right, X Factor's back in the building. I remember the last time they showed them. Is Forge still the leader up in this? I need that whistling sound back whenever they do that, man. That's the only thing I haven't heard them reuse. I don't know if they have that audio in the library anymore, but we need that back.
Here, take some cream with it.
Aw, thanks, Remy. You're sweet. But our new boss beat you to the pot.
It's 3 sugars.
3 sugars. Look at you, nigga.
Taking orders. No. Luckily, I am giving them. We must be ready should Mr. Sinister resurface.
This guy, bro, I swear.
This member deserves some jubilation on her 18th birthday.
Okay.
I second the Blue Rogaine ad. Kid deserves it.
Blue Rogaine.
On more birthdays, should she learn to master her powers to face a world that despises her.
Yeah, she hasn't really done much in this season.
Didn't get him a pony for his sweet 16.
My parents perished when I was a child.
You got a point there, bro.
Who's got
We didn't have time to celebrate.
fireworks and turns 18 today? Me.
The daughter of Bret Hart.
Birthday, sweet pea. Boy, do we got some surprises for you.
Let's go to the arcade. It'll be just like old times. What do you
Yeah. So you can melt another fucking arcade cabinet.
You would have the master of magnetism seen in a bar of childish make-believe.
Wasting quarters?
Just one day where I don't have to freak out about the professor or Jean and her clone.
You actually do play video games? This might be make or break.
The only people who hate video games are bad at video games.
You got a point.
This one isn't mine. Never even heard of a Motendo.
Motendo. Is that a what's that guy's name? Longstar?
He's looking up. Let's play.
I'd rather me and Wayne find out I'm a mutant than be caught dead playing that.
Lord. I don't even know why she would trust this game anyway.
What's it doing?
Motendo does what Sega don't. Shit. Talk about being hardwired. You got the download sound, AOL 2.0. Oh shit.
What time is it?
How long were we playing? I assume I won.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be Mojo Vision or some shit.
Whoa! Where'd the mansion go?
Yeah. Alternate reality. Damn.
Oh boy!
Sheesh. I got that Blade music playing. Get your ass back here.
You know, it would be a lot easier if you just used
Please, bro.
What if there's cameras around?
Oh, God.
You guys can see me on TV.
I mean, that's the fucking point.
Everyone is focused on you.
Yeah.
It's like Mojo has finally got hip to the game, man. He's gonna have y'all on a live video game tournament feed. Those are popular nowadays. Oh
Wait a
shit.
second. It could be a trap.
A phone booth trap? That'd be creative. Hello?
Wow. They just Bill and Ted at them.
Whoa, hold up. Genosha? But like way back when? Genosha?
Oh yeah. This is harping back to the episode I was telling you guys about.
I was trapped here with Storm.
Slave Island.
Too. And a bunch of other mutants. All enslaved to Bill by Bolivar traps.
Yeah.
The dude who created the Sentinels?
Sunfire, Domino. Wow. Oh my god, y'all can hit the back of a barnyard door. Why they look like Boba Fett soldiers? Completely digitized.
Maybe it was her.
The fuck?
Was that you?
Dominatrix?
Calling us earlier on the phone?
She got rollerblades, flaming blades.
System error.
cyberpunk mirage.
Duh, we're totally in a video game.
We're what?
Pay attention to the young lady.
Oh,
You're
Lord.
like totally in a video game. Love the totally. Just what I was hoping for. Classic Jubilee.
My boy lose weight?
Name of all heaven is that?
Mojo here, your primetime psycho interdimensional alien TV producer who feeds off ratings. My putting the X-Men through overly complicated death traps to entertain.
Yeah, that's the episode they showed the Punisher too.
Audiences. Sorry.
Looks like you've been dieting.
Right, he lost weight.
You noticed.
Look at them shoulders.
Some talk. You're not just
Yeah.
a video game, honey. You're the
Gotta have some plastic surgery, son.
my first blockbuster release where every level is based off your own memories.
Really? Me? Please.
Big names are a fortune. Dazzler had a gig, don't ask. So you're my
Okay.
gamer girl in a gamer world. This is the dream, Jubilee. Be young forever, replay the golden age, no growing up. Think about it, Jubes. The old X-Men are totally old school. Who's the boss? Magneto. Storm. Different worlds. Divorce court. Summer
Lord.
versus Gray. That's not X-Men. You're my X-Men, Jubilee, so game on!
Oh shit. Hey, okay, that kind of looks like the classic game that was based off of the Pride of the X-Men pilot. Oh yeah. This shit is super retro to the fucking max. Is it a fighter or a side scroller beat 'em up? Hey. How come I have a nagging suspicion that Dot and Moon, the people that worked on Streets of Rage 4, made this? That is so fucking badass. Yeah. Remember his energy sapping ass? Hey, okay, Spyro's still on the ones and twos.
That wasn't me.
Who was it?
That's that box, Spiral!
This is what you get when you kill tech support.
For failing to kill the box! Nothing wrong. Now shush! My favorite level.
I wonder if we're gonna see any other Mojo World occupants like Shatterstar.
Should probably find a way out of here.
Exactly.
Rush. These levels are taking me back.
I guess.
Hughes, listen to yourself. None of this is real. Sooner or later, you gotta grow up. Otherwise, reality will smack you right in the face.
Man, don't you know she's a Toys R Us kid? Oh, the fuck? Yeah, my man need to go ahead and tap into his true potential, man.
Forever! It's boss battle time!
All right, who we got?
I am Magneto.
Where you go? This ain't nothing but the danger room.
Oh no! Roberto's health is almost gone.
You don't say.
Dying.
Okay,
My help?
he's got a pattern of attack. Typical boss battle shenanigans. I just need to wait for it to cycle.
Like when he clenches his ass cheek and he throws, that's when you run. You lose. Perfect.
Is that
An X. Oh wow.
How did that get in there? Spiral! I thought I told you to get rid of her!
Let's get it,
Did I
man.
die? Was I dead?
Dude, you can just get invulnerability.
I found an extra life. Someone is definitely helping us.
I messed up. Big time. Still, this young lady did take down old Magneto.
Yeah, you did that.
For the Lord of Magnetism.
Oh god. This is the boss after the final boss. Damn. Hey, who is this?
Thank you, my friends. And by friends, I mean you. I hacked you out of the game server and into Mojo's broadcast servers to buy us some time.
She's a plot twist. She's in league with
A
Mojo.
plot twist.
It's Acosta.
This is like Future Jubilee or something?
Like I said, we go way back.
That is so badass.
Now we need to move. That blobby tyrant fraud could download in here any second.
It's the original voice actress!
Gonna hit pause here for a second.
This-
Got a few questions.
Explain everything!
They didn't forget her, boys.
Before launch, running endless trial loops with you two was too risky, so Mojo needed beta testers. I figured out a glitch and hacked my way through here before deletion.
Figures my game has cheat codes. Very me.
Jubilee, I know a part of you wants to hang here. It's nice knowing how every stage ends. No surprises, no twists. It always stays the same.
Yeah, man.
That's not living.
It ain't.
Living doesn't get cheat codes or extra lives.
Live and learn.
Magneto was right. A bit. But he's totally wrong about one thing. Video games rule.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you say we destroy Mojo's game and get you two lovebirds out of here?
Bro, this is so awesome. Oh, shit.
Two Jubilees, cheaters.
Sure, you can this fool, man. Knock his ass out.
Guys, I think he fell off his dive.
Fine by me.
There you go. Oh, she's skating with that thing.
Wow, I can do that?
Yeah.
Half of it. Just you wait.
Damn, she can make sonic booms? What else can she do? Like, she making destructo disc and everything.
Testing of throwing to a commercial during a video.
Leave this shit out of here.
Hold up,
Nice.
It ain't over till the fat desperate sings.
Despot.
Time to end you nasty glitches.
You think I'm Vanellope Bun Sweets, bitch? Shit, Rasengan this nigga, man.
Rats would have canceled me today, but I swear I'll cut you to reboot.
Yeah, this shit is super anime to the max. Hell yeah. They brought the house down. Damn. Milk this shit now.
Roberto, you could have.
Why did that look like Mutant Apocalypse's cartridge? Oh yeah. Sparks are flying, man. So that was part 1 or half of the episode story. And this is gonna be Life Death. A love story. Let's see how awesome Forge's mansion looks.
Ready.
Looks kind of conventional though. That's the outfit she was wearing.
Spice and chili. It's a leaner cut. Gives room for the spices to do their magic.
You're very kind.
Well, a friend of Charles Xavier is a friend of mine. I owe that fellow a great deal.
How does it work? A mutant who can invent anything he can conceive.
I can get at parts of the brain that are normally dormant in humans. Draw unique connections, see how bits fit, like a Rubik's Cube on constant autopilot.
Or simply a genius.
Well, life and love, God help me. But if you're needing a neat toaster or a thing that will store your mutant powers...
Or a bowl of this delicious chili.
Yep, we're chilly.
Okay.
I'm your man.
Got swag too. I think that's like the outfit he wore in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. So they are sticking to a little of that.
I was a soldier.
Yeah, Vietnam vet,
It was a
man.
war.
I miss soaring. The wind in my hair, so powerful it's hard to breathe, but so fresh as to be worth it. Your mutant gifts have allowed you to fix yourself. What a blessing.
Wasn't anything to fix. Just adapted and got a little creative. Let's go for a ride.
Let me take you for a ride. Bada bada, beat it, boop, bop. What is she riding on? What the fuck is this? Is this rated PG? What the hell? She's riding bareback?
Beautiful, isn't it?
That owl, I've seen him before circling. Perhaps he is like the winds. The moon affects tides and temperatures, guiding the wind across our planet's surface. The winds here never shift. They always blow east, stuck like this owl.
You more than anyone know how fast the weather can change.
The real trick to reversing what the executioner did to you wasn't making an inverted version of its radiation.
It was creating a machine that could
The X Factor.
such power.
Ah, you've been listening. Last power differential clicked in my head when we were out riding. Like I said, helps to get outside.
Okay, man, we're moving very fast with this, man. He's already come up with a cure.
Give it a try.
Winds, heed my command.
No dice. Damn.
Please, winds, hear me. Please. This isn't happening, Forge. It can't be real.
I know, Aurora. I know.
Why is fixing me so important to you?
Storm.
Yeah, you got something you want to tell her?
After the war, I didn't have the resources to build what I so easily saw in my mind. The Defense Department offered to help me, as long as I helped them build some devices.
Uh-oh.
Devices that could be used to neutralize dangerous mutants.
No. You made these?
No, a scientist in Scotland did.
Yeah.
Using my early designs, rough strokes at best. I left the government by then.
You, of all people, should know the perils of trusting those in Washington.
I could live forever, and still my endless imagination would never conceive of a thing as perfect as you.
A perfect path to your redemption.
You are a goddess. Powers be damned. How do you not see that? Aurora, look at me. Look. I'll say it once. Just once. Then you can go or you can stay, but I love you.
Really? That quick?
You meant to make me a goddess. Instead, you have fashioned a fool.
Try to fast forward this story. Asshole. Alright, slow down now. Oh shit. I've seen those eyes before. Wow. The fuck happened?
Aurora! I was just coming upstairs after you.
What? How did I return here?
Please tell me this is a hologram. It has to be a hologram. Okay, are we gonna have the wraiths in this?
By all things in the heavens.
Get out of my home, you damn demon!
Oh, fuck.
Is this death? No. You live. Disappointed. Trapped here, haunted. Suffering, despairing.
What kind of berserk shit is this?
Misery. And I, the adversary, shall not waste my meal.
Damn. Alright, guys, so there we have it. Episode 4 titled Motendo / Life Death. I really enjoyed this one right here. Like, I don't know, it seems like it answered my questions immediately as soon as I turned it on, because if you guys remember, I did mention something about Mojo Vision, and I also mentioned something about Slave Island, how the mutants were tricked into going to Genosha and essentially becoming slaves for this guy by the name of Cameron Hodge. And also the inhibitor collar, which Forge just so happened to have had a part in creating. I knew they had to tie that in some kind of way, because like I say, in the original comics, Henry Gyrick, he charged or he tasked him with making this gun, but you know, Henry Gyrick is currently in jail, and last time I checked, he was responsible for shooting the blaster at Storm, and Forge ended up having to save Storm, and he was very frustrated with Gyrick for using that, but he wasn't really sure of what the blaster could do. It was originally made to work on different types of metahumans. It wasn't just specifically for mutants. But Gyrick, he decided to use it on a mutant, and that kind of fucked up a lot of stuff, especially for Forge, you know, who was trying to be this liaison between humans and mutants. One thing that I really was hoping to see was how cool Forge's mansion was going to be, because in the comic books he has this awesome mansion that looks like it's essentially hovering in midair because of all these different holographic panels he has on the floor that make it look like he's just standing there, like not on anything, just air. They didn't do that. They kind of went for an old school approach, you know, by making him just, you know, I don't want to say a typical Native American, but going for that Native American that lives out in the desert somewhere and they have like this shack. It was more along the lines of that, you know, but I really wanted to see how that was, because that's one of the things that kind of shows how worthless Storm feels about herself, because Storm, she's usually a person that's always in the air. You know, she's always floating. She's always doing these things with weather and stuff like that. But when she sees Forge's lair and she sees the elements of thunder and lightning and stuff, and she's able to see that up in this essentially translucent house that can showcase so many different things, she's very scared by that, you know, which is a telltale sign that her mutant abilities not only granted her all these powers of elements and stuff, but it also safeguarded her from those very same things. You know, she's able to, you know, bypass super cold weather conditions and all these other things, you know, by way of the mystic elements, or, you know, weather elements. I do like that they actually go into Forge's past, though, you know, because he is a Army veteran and he lost his leg and his right hand, and they kind of allude to this up in, you know, the story where in the previous comics, like Storm, she didn't want to be alive anymore after she lost her ability. She felt worthless, like I said earlier. But Forge, he was like, yeah, we both lost things. I've lost my leg and hand, but I was able to bounce back by other means. You know, we can lose something and we can also regain something from those losses. And, you know, I think that was kind of displayed beautifully up in this episode. I just wish they would kind of pull it back a little bit. I think this could have been reserved for the later episode and put into 2 episodes. So we're going to get half of the love-death story, or the life-death story for this. And then we're going to hopefully get a full episode dedicated to that. In terms of Jubilee, I really loved her story. I like how they actually kind of go back and to those old days. Like I said, man, this shit is just referencing so many things that I have mentioned in my little segues, in my intros, where I talk about the history of the X-Men, particularly in pop culture. They were such a big deal back in the 90s that they crossed over with so many different things. They were essentially franchise Viagra. Like, you can insert them into a lot of stuff. You know, you can put them into video games like they did with the Konami developed game, where they essentially were trying to really market the Pride of the X-Men pilot, because they felt like that was actually going to be a big deal. Like, if you guys remember that 80s cartoon where Wolverine has an Australian accent, they really thought that thing was going to take off, but it didn't. And it ended up having a arcade side-scroller beat-em-up where you could have at least 4 to, I think, 6 players on that thing. It was very cool. And I like, whenever I saw that shot of Magneto up in this episode in that video game, it kind of put me in the mind of that, where he's kind of hovering over the world and stuff, you know, and you see that, you know, that awesome shot of him with his eyes kind of flickering. Very reminiscent of that and other stuff. After looking at the visuals, I can't help but feel like Dotemu, who is a very talented team of video game developers that specialize in making modern day games into these retro 3D side-scroller beat-em-ups. I feel like they probably worked on this because the animations look very similar to what they did with games like Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Marvel outsourced some of this episode to them so they can make that particular bit up in there. Mojo, he's a very interesting character, but one I was never really into like that because I felt like he was a little too far out there for my taste. Very fourth wall breaking. Loves to make a lot of pop culture references, but I think it works here, especially for Jubilee. You know, it gives her character more to do because for the most part, she kind of, you know, tends to play the back because she's not that strong of a character. But I like how they established that she is going to become a very strong character later on in life by way of showing her future version, which is voiced, if I'm not mistaken, it could be voiced by the same voice actress that voiced her in the 90s, because if I'm not mistaken, they did replace her up in this one. So it was cool to get that little, reference and callback to what Jubilee used to be and what she can be. So yeah, man, shout outs to the story writers, man. I just hope they take their time on this. I like how they put Forge up in his classic outfit when he first met Storm, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is what he wears up in the Life Death comic books. I'm pretty sure I'll have the image posted up on the screen so you guys can see it. I don't know why I feel like there's so much more I can say. Yeah, the X Factor too. I'm wondering what happened with the X Factor. Like, how did that go? Is he still the leader of the X Factor? As you guys are probably not aware, I don't know why I say as you guys are aware, because some people are casual. So it's always awesome to drop some of that knowledge on you. Like Forge, up in the comics, he became a part of the X Factor. After being a government contractor and stuff, he decided to join this team that was essentially sponsored by the government. They were paid by the government. And they were led, if I'm not mistaken, by Val Cooper, who we saw in the previous episodes talking to the Summers. We see them talking to Scott and Jean, or Madeline, as she was later revealed to be. And she was essentially this U.S. agent who played the role of being a liaison between the X-Men and the government. And she was leading this team that consisted of Alex Summers, who you guys know to be Scott's brother, and also codenamed Havoc. Wolfsbane, who is essentially the female equivalent of Beast, that can essentially transform herself into this like werewolf. This guy by the name of Strong Guy, who, as his name implies, is super strong. Who else? Quicksilver. Yes, Quicksilver, who you know to be Magneto's son and the twin sibling of Wanda Maximoff, also known as Scarlet Witch. And you also have Polaris, who is another sibling to Wanda and Pietro, aka Quicksilver. Yes, she's also later revealed to be Magneto's daughter by way of another relationship. Magneto has a lot of kids, don't ask me how, but yes, Polaris, she is another one of Magneto's spawns. I feel like I'm missing somebody else too, but I could be wrong. I do remember in the previous series, they showed the X Factor and they faced off against the X-Men, and it was very cool seeing Cyclops come face to face with his sibling, who he didn't even know was his sibling. I guess Cyclops still has amnesia from that plane crash when he was a kid, So it was cool to see them interact and wonder why their abilities couldn't work on one another. Not realizing that both of them have a built-in immunity towards psionic energy, which is another thing that they'll probably harp on if they don't. Like Cyclops, he has a long family. I don't know, he has this weird family history. There's a lot of different things going on with him. His father is essentially like Star-Lord. He's mainly like tied to the Shi'ar Empire, and apparently he knows how to pilot spaceships good, which explains why Cyclops is such a good pilot himself when it comes to flying the Blackbird. So go figure. Overall, I will give these episodes, well, this episode, but they cut it into, I'll give this episode in general, I'm going to give it an A+. It was an A+ worthy episode, man. Very fun. Really harped on a lot of nostalgic things pertaining to the 90s, which I have a nagging suspicion that the writers, they have a lot of talented people that grew up watching the X-Men doing this, and they loved a lot of those things too, and they wanted to harp back on them, because if I'm not mistaken, that cartridge, after it was restored back to its normal form, it had the cover art or the case art of the Super NES game, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, if you guys are familiar with that. So yeah, keep it going, man. I'm happy with this. But with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What did you think about this, man? Did you like it? Did you love it? Or did you hate it? Do you feel like it's moving too fast for your taste, especially if you are familiar with the original source material? Let me know all those things in the comment section below. But this is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer. We ain't seen the reactions. I'll catch you guys in the next reaction too. X-Men 97. Peace.